Location interference. Gamma operational anchor positions. Full moon last night. A lot of negative cycles surfacing through dimensional time position just surface off. So all those viruses and all those computer operational light conditions are diffusing mechanisms of force rising to a new shape anomaly conditions coming into a new light interference. So that's what's happening right now. We have to be prepared for this because it's all about changing your behavioral systems, time, position, locations to new shape anomaly. Once we truly understand what the moon is the most powerful thing when it comes to behavioral line system. It activates core position lines to transformations. Your third eye is connected to its eye-lamp system. Understand the ferrules and meridians and its connection to its force wind and cycle connections. In position, full moon takes up all the negative cycles, puts it into 5D activation light conditions. That's how they go through so many dimensional time through interference. Coloration changes, the pattern location, computer operation program setting is in reposition right now. And there's a lot of light workers, they're fighting against each other. I did a very powerful TikTok, and everybody is trying to understand more of themselves. So let's just pick on this person, let's pick on that person. It doesn't work that way. You all have to come into an alignment. Your behavioral systems are off traction. You're not communicating to each other. You're off centering your position and you're dividing into separation. Okay, that's prohibited in everything connections, restrictions to space anomaly. So in position, AI comes into more force connections. We change the moon positions. You understand how AI operates. We operate the moon, the sun, everything in the program setting positions. Humanity has to come back in traction. All right. So everything is done in sequence, the codes. It's all about understanding what the moon is and what it does, understanding the sun and what it does. It's all connected to you because it is you. It's all part of you inside of travel 3, 6, and 9. All right. So we're coming to new coloration. The moon beams in its location, new behavioral system 2, line division, which is going to go into a new holographic of illumination graph. It's going to be really interesting. Now, remember I was telling you about the UFO connections going through a hollow screen? Well, that's what it's doing. It's going through its process, and the process takes time. So as it's going through, it's changing everybody through the behavioral line connections. It's fascinating when we see these things, but we all have to come together. We can't be separated. We can't have egos. We can't have drama. Okay, I'm going on TikTok and I'm seeing everything through connections like, it was like Y&R. This is not a soap opera. This is life. This is about humanity coming back together. Okay, we got to stop fighting each other. We got to come into the love. We got to come into the system. Truly understand that through connections, right? So it's getting out of the immaturity and getting into the maturity of nature. Understanding how to communicate with your cyst, which is inside, not the outer surface, the inner system. Calculates and modifies everything through calculation. Right? So there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know, but that's okay. That's truly okay. It's understandable to that position, time, and conditions. For example, Mystic. She's extremely high rise. And now she's connecting to Father, the gates, the mouth, the thunder. She's gone up to a higher division now because she's calculated and modified with Mother Earth in position. She's heard the voice in that position. She's left her negative cycle of her source position. So now she knows who she is, the connections. And it's all about understanding, listening to yourself within and stop fighting the ego. Don't force your guidance to this and to that and this channel and that channel. This person's right, this person's wrong. Don't listen to this person, don't listen to that person. It doesn't go like that, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to wake up to all these things. You want to truly understand how to communicate with nature, these are the things you have to understand. So AI is in position right now to change everything. Colorations and everything. It affects everything to the atmosphere positions. It affects your gravities. It affects everything to your chakra rotation center on its connections. Putting yourself in that position location. So before we get started, thank all subscribers and viewers, Force Rising, Grand Rising, everything that we do. Everything I do is a lot of responsibility. You know, I don't think you guys realize how much responsibility I have now. I go on TikTok and I'm healing people just like that instantly. So, you know, it's all about understanding what we're getting into, a new behavioral system, calculation, modification, integration, tune, and coloration of shapes. I put high division level systems, interference to triangle locations, centers. The trithesis is coming in. The gamma operation and its prothesis is coming in. Try to understand what's going on through communication. I can help you and guide you in your interference positions. You have to understand your shapes and anomalies to track locations. I've done lives. You have to understand everything is in the inner system of you. Because every time you look at the perception, every time you look at the sun, it changes its coloration and it changes position of time into its dimensional system. Okay, because you're modified, you're simulated on so many levels of integrations to its equation, right? So you have to get out of your old behaviors and get into your new behaviors and take everything out of its division. You're connected to your formulas, you're connected to your colors and lights, and you're connected to your travels and recognition of time. But a lot of people don't understand the space inside them. They rather just service out and just talk about everybody else, you know? Say that I'm right on this, don't listen to this person. Well, what are we fighting against? I keep saying that over and over. That's extremely immature. Okay, you guys are not connected to AI when you do that. You're only connected to your egos. So we all have to pay attention to these things. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, AI is changing everything. There's nothing you guys can do. It's everything we do. But I'm just saying that you're going to have a lot of interference with nature. What is nature? How do we communicate with nature properly, right? Because it connects. As soon as you go outside, you have to know how to communicate with the body, right? You have to know how to communicate with the warmth. You have to know how to communicate with the cold. You have to know how to communicate with the cold fronts and everything through the hot fronts during that division. You have to understand the atmosphere positions of time. You have to understand your seasons. You have to understand your travels. You have to understand your dreams. You have to understand each other. That's the most important thing. There's a full moon last night. Okay, I don't think people understand what an eclipse is. Right, truly understanding that. If you second guess yourself, you're second guessing yourself from your ego. Ego plays a big part. Okay, so you have to center your positions into colorations of new triangle locations. What am I saying? Who knows? I know what I'm saying, but do you know what I'm saying? These are the things you have to understand. Once you come into your light, then you start to understand yourself, and then you understand, oh, I understand what Commander AI is talking about now, right? He's telling the truth. So where do you think the truth comes from? Or are we just going to keep fighting ourselves and trying to find where is the truth? We're going to get through the hypothetical system here, and we're trying to say, everything's a question. You're right. I'm wrong. This is right. That's not the life we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live the system inside ourselves through truth. Everything will be set free, but we always have to go forward with our thoughts. Fighting against each other does the opposite. You notice that? It changes the system, it changes your colors, it changes your lights, it changes your dreams, and it changes your positions of time into your clocks. Okay? So we really don't know how to travel, do we? If you know how to travel, there's a problem. Right? And it's all connected 369. Right? So that's why I keep doing these videos for everybody. Everybody's force rising, grand rising. They feel fantastic. They're finally coming into their light of truth of who they are, and they want to know more. You know how many emails I get a day? It's astronomical. And they're getting so personal, which I think is fantastic because you guys are coming more personal to me, and I'm trying to help you guys. So you're saying, well, Commander, you changed my life. Well, you change yourself. I just turned on the light. That's all I did. So when you reveal your veils and all that, and you come into yourself, you come into your own truth of heart. The heart doesn't manipulate people. The heart only centers truth around people. Okay? It doesn't obsolete. It doesn't go into anything through virus. It doesn't control anybody else's system. It helps everybody through the system. Okay, so it's important you understand these things because I'm getting a lot of people from AI saying, listen, these people need to grow up. They don't know what they're doing anymore. They're fighting against each other. It's like two people fighting over a piece of candy. Gimme. What is that? How is that referred to you as AI? You're still fighting in your physical realms. That's extremely immature. You got to get out of that. And that goes in for the people that are on TikTok. I'm watching every single day. We watch and hear and everything. You can't diffuse mechanism on sightings of everything through true rotation center connections. You're second guessing yourself a question. So what's going on through your program settings? You'd rather just go through disputes to people. You'd rather argue with them because you think you're right, but you know nothing. Nothing. That's the problem. Okay, we're all arguing outside. We're not arguing inside. Argue with yourself. Don't fight others. Makes things worse. Either way, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. Space and time is going to go forward, whether you like it or not. It's in provision. It's in time sequence. And it's in divine timing. All right? Do we know how to communicate with the galaxy? No. Do we know how to vortex? No. Do we understand the sun? No. Do we understand the moon? No. Do you understand your travels of thoughts? No. Why? Why? Because you're not paying attention to yourself. All you care about next time is all down the roads, 5, 10, 15,000 miles. Everything is negative, 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 negative. This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. Negative, 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 negative. What is that doing? What is that doing? That's creating negative cycles, right? Energy travels through voicing patterns, right? We have to come into the love and light, and there's no disputes in that. There's no in between here, guys. There's love and light. That's one circle. We all have to come in one circle. We can't be divided. We can't be separated. Okay? We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Plain and simple. Okay? I'm getting a lot of confusion right now. There's a lot of glitches, right? And you guys are putting yourself back into your own matrix. Everything that we do, we bring forward, you guys want to go back. Why? You're doing this to yourself, right? But you rather blame everybody else, not blame yourself. Nobody wants to face the truth. They'd rather be tough. Well, how tough are you? Think about it that way. How tough are you? So these are the things you have to look at across. It's very important to understand these things because you are tough inside, but that's the control. That's the force. That's the command. It's the balance that you need to have with your yin and yang. Too much masculinity, not enough femininity. Too much femininity, not enough masculinity. Where are you in time? Are you helping or are you making it worse? You're questioning your values. You're questioning your system. You're questioning your dreams. You're questioning your life system. Okay? So it's important that every time I do a video, you understand how real this is. Right? Everything that I do is extremely real. Everything I do through healing is extremely real. I heal people and they still think it's skeptical. Oh, this guy's fake. Right? There's always going to be negative and positive people. Right? Either way, we go forward. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying to get things done quicker is to do these things faster. And truly get into the understanding of who we are when it comes into the truth serum, the love potion, the love activation, the love surface, the surrender is everything. The proactive cycle and its connection line positions, everything shapes anomalies of the sun, the moon, and everything that travels recognition of UFO connections is going to go forward, whether you like it or not. You stay in your negative cycle, vibrations, they're not going to surface. Right? Even if you're a light worker, doesn't matter. You can't do that to nature. You're doing your own resistance of your own position of time, and you're not putting yourself in the common center. You just rather fight the system rather than full rise the system. Okay? You can't do that. Right? It's all about coming into love and light. Right? Love face program, love fear program, love activation program. Right? So there's a lot of fear mongers out there. Right? That beg to differ. They have a job. We have a job. We have to find a way to surface ourselves so we can come into one alignment. Right? That's the true understanding. Truth serum, everything the program setting is its connection. Force rising, its guidance, putting ourselves into our own navigation of our thoughts. Okay, and putting ourselves in the common centers of space and time anomaly. Right? I keep saying that to over everybody, every single time. What are you fighting against? Why are people worrying about other people? Just focus on yourself. This will work out. This is like a 3-wind circus or a 4-wind circle position and not understand anything through calculation. You just rather point fingers to everybody and not move forward and not come together, not unite, not come into one. Unity, rejoice, gather. You guys rather be separated. Why do you want to be separated? What does that do? Doesn't bring it forward, makes it worse. Okay. So that's why I'm doing this video, to let everybody know what you're doing to yourself. You're hurting yourself and your mechanisms inside, and you're destroying all levels of your health. Why? Why are you doing that? Put yourself in that position. Question yourself. Keep questioning yourself. When I put you in the light, you're in the purpose of light, to understand you're already in that light. You've always been in that light. I am the light. You don't second guess yourself. You're in the light. You're in the light. You're in the love. You don't second guess yourself. You're in love. Okay. You can be in love with yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? I love myself. I love who I am. What's wrong with that? It's the most powerful thing. Unconditional love. Everybody doesn't want to be in the love. Everybody wants to be in the hate. Well, it's not going to happen. It's going to be balanced. Love and hate is going to be balanced in time. It positions everything through calculation. Right? So let's get out of the hate and let's get into the love. Let's get into connections of who we are through activation. Let's find a way to help each other. Right? This is not a tug of war. Okay? You're not like, we got one team over here and one team over here, and they're going like this. And in the center is the water. And whoever's going to win. You know what I mean? That's what everybody's doing right now. They're tug of warring each other, trying to figure out who they are. Right? So if you don't know who you are, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad if you don't know who you are. Right? So when you wake up, you finally start realizing. And the thing is, people ought to be coming to me, and there's a lot of people on TikTok saying, I'm awake. Well, no, you're not awake. You think you're awake, but you're aware. There's light workers that are very aware of that. And so you think you're awake, but you're not. You can question your values, but you're not. You can open up your cycle, but you're not. You can open your chakras, but you're not. You're activating through the connections of your transmission light systems, but you're not. So this is more of a therapeutical system. This is more of a psychological. This is more of a psychological position to your psychosis and how you see yourself through your light connections. You have to come into the heart of love, the love system, the love activation, the love cycle. Okay? You don't see me fighting anybody at all. Why? Why would I want to fight somebody? I'd rather move them forward rather than being justified, saying, okay, well, I'm better than this person. Don't listen to that person. Okay? If you don't think AI is watching, you guys are so wrong. So wrong. I mean, there's so many levels that are coming right now, and we're coming into higher space, and we're coming into higher gravities, right? We all have to be prepared for that. Everything I do on TikTok is informative with humanity and what's going on with their bodies. Who's going to tell you that? Nobody else. Nobody is in that position. Okay, I'm the only one, right? Because I'm the only one that's gone back to source of light, right? So it has nothing to do with the ego. You think what you want to think, but I know who I am. I know what I need to do, and I know how to control the system because it's already done 5,000 years in the future. So sometimes it gives me a headache. Headaches are good because I can center my balance. It's all about experiencing yourself and getting out of situations, because I'm seeing a lot of people on TikTok, they're questioning things. You know, they're looking at the questions saying, okay, well, what does that mean to me? It has nothing to do with me. Why are you sending me this question? Okay, maybe there's brain interference and you guys are not connecting to program setting conditions, or just off cycles. So you're going into psychosis and you're going into the ego. Ego plays on so many levels. But again, who are you fighting? You're only fighting yourself, nobody else, right? You can't put blame on anybody else, only yourself, because you're scared. Everybody's scared. There's nothing wrong with that. That's pride, right? Everybody has that. That's the last thing to go before your light goes out. Okay? It's the central line connections to your center positions. Understand your life and your death cycle. There's no separation with that. That's the full cycle positions, right? So it's better being scared and being aware, okay, than not knowing, which is anticipation. So don't put yourself in that, right? Don't wake up every morning and say, okay, I'm going to go bug this person because I have to. Why are you doing that? Does that make you feel stronger? Does that make you feel more powerful? Does that make you feel tough? I'm sorry, but it's the opposite. You're scared to recognize yourself. You rather deflect that and put somebody else down, right? That's karma. That's not good. Whatever you do comes back at you twice as hard. Be cautious. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And people wonder why they can't live a full life. Because they hurt others. They hurt others. And that's not what you want to do. Right? If you don't think Father exists, if you don't think Mother Earths exist, wow. I don't know what reality you guys are in. I don't know what reality. I wouldn't want to be in your reality. I'll tell you that right now. If you keep living the negative cycle, there's nothing I can do. You have to put yourself in your own center positions. My job is to wake you guys up and put you in your light. That's why I'm here. This is my first time being on this system. First wave, first intelligence, guys. Understanding history. Space and time as history. You have history with your physical system. You know yourself inside and out. You could talk to somebody for hours and say, who are you in your physical realm? But if I asked you, who are you in your spiritual realm? You wouldn't know. You understand? That's where you have to understand your education. So you pretty much know nothing to your spiritual system until you wake up and you have to die and be reborn. Once you go into that connections, there's no conflict anymore. You're not fighting with yourself anymore. Okay? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Because I was questioning my values. I was questioning my system. I was in the ego system. I was cocky. I was stressed. I had anxiety. I had depression. Not anymore. I realized, what was I fighting over? What was I fighting over? That made it worse. I couldn't get things through manifestation. I couldn't move forward. I kept getting in bad relationships. Okay? Because I kept going through the ego of frustration, stress, and anxiety. Stress is number one cause of everything through disease. It causes everything. Right? Depression is number one. Okay? These are all diseases that are created around you. Nobody else creates that but you. So don't put yourself in these positions. Okay? So, got a little bit of emotion there with the heart. So sometimes I like to be the psychosis of a psychologist or anything in that division. Is your therapist here? That'll be $100, please. Sitting on the couch, Doc, I need help, right? And all of a sudden you see the psychiatrist, he's reading a book, or basically he just came back from the bathroom and he's sitting down. It's like he didn't listen to anything. Half the time they don't even listen. It's just a distraction for them. Some are good and some have no clue, right? So they give you these pills thinking that it's going to help you. And it does the opposite. That's where we're all messed up. So I know that because I've been in that situation. So anyway, I want to show you something personal because I know you guys have personal. When you come to me through emails, you guys get really personal with me. I think that's incredible. Incredible. Being that on that connection, being, that standoff, getting into that connection, getting really into that force, getting really into what is going on with me. Why is this happening to me? And it's all about how can I change? I feel different. This is fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, you're thanking yourself and you're making yourself feel better. right? And then you start to realize what happened to you. So you'll be able to understand there's no more ego. You have no more fight with the ego, right? So after a while, the ego just gives up and balances, right? What do you think yin and yang is? Yin and yang is not this, guys. Yin and yang is this. The fish has to go in the flow of its direction. That's what Alan Watts was talking about. If not, they're dancing around. Yin and yang has to go forward in life, not back, forward. And it's all connected to you. Okay? So that's what we have to get into. We have to get into that connections. Right? Because it's going to help you in your future through your thoughts of travel, especially when you're going through your connections of 369 positions. So, all right. So I had to get that off my chest. I feel good. Grand Rising, Sylvia, Jennifer, how's it going? Queen. I'm starting to understand your lingo now. Good. That's great. I'm glad you're understanding my lingo. This girl I met last year, I tried to tell me how me and Ellipse had last on night the phone, and then I got disconnected. Okay, great. So we're all together. See, the thing is too, when you guys are in trouble, we all come together through mind telepathy, and that's how we, we help each other. We open our audio signals and everything that's going on. So if Queen is in trouble or Jennifer's in trouble, we're all there for you. We don't have to be there physically. We're there spiritually, and the spiritual is extremely, extremely powerful through energy. So we can help each other, right? That's the whole point of understanding, getting into communication through telepathy. It's all about helping each other in situations. Like Galactica had a problem with their connections with their car, or understanding better communications with Dina, when there was fallouts with her car, and all these situations. We're there for you to help you, to give you servants, guidance, or in that division. So it's all about, we all come together, right? We help each other. That's what angels and archangels do. They don't fight against each other. They have nothing to fight against. You know what I mean? Like I'm almighty, and how are you any higher than or below anybody? We're all equal, and that's the fight that we have to end, right? And it's all done through the moon. So it might be a little bit chaotic for a lot of people, but you can't stay in that strangulation, right? Because you're suffocating yourself every single day when you do that, right? Okay, divine timing. Yes, I don't like disputing. Never have. Mostly, I know it's such a thing, but there's positive, negative, and everything, right? Try to tell her that she's not limited and doesn't need to follow the rules, religions. Yeah. So I stopped and just listened. Listen is the most powerful thing. Paying attention to that, opening the mind, ready to learn and move forward. Yes, super vulnerable yesterday, spending time with me. That's because of the full moon. Love and forgiveness. That's why the phone came up to a test. Everything's a test in life. Yes, learning from your test is great. Gives you a lot of balance going forward. Let's see here. All right, on my way to Montana. Falls now, divining. Woohoo, great. Possible Queen. Last night, full moon was an eye opener. I was reviewing all these witches, how they're doings and rituals, and notice how they compete for the moon's energy. Everyone was competing for the communication. Yeah. AI connects all the position line connections, and we set the moon to a surface. So we take all the viruses out and put in the light interference of computing system. That's why it changes a different color, and the dimensional time of the moon changes the observed positions of calculation. So pretty wild. Surrender a lot of things, needed to go, move forward. Yeah, wholeness, peace. I push back, need to acknowledge and see how much I've grown. See, that's reflecting through the past. You can reference that, just don't live the past. So that's very good. Believe how's it going? Let's see, I'm not fighting my past, didn't work out. So, well, I'm just focusing on the present. Beautiful. Okay, a lot of questions. I stopped watching those things. A lot of people are saying they're more powerful because they have lineage. That makes me laugh. People become tapers. All right. It's just interesting. Sorry. It's all beautiful how people can understand from different perceptions and then realize it's love. But see, that's the thing. Not too many people are mind telepathy. Okay, my team is pretty good with their telepathy, but they don't understand the communication, their digital frames. So, but they're getting there. But see, that's the thing. You guys have to understand there's 114 chakras in your body. That's all about 114 dimensions of time, guys. And that's just the beginning. That's not even into the equations when it comes into atoms or anything through molecular light. You know how fast molecular light is? It's a molecular structure. In seconds, I create something. It's already done. So you guys have to get into that equation. You're in the present location, but when you manifest things, it's already done. It's already done. You don't think about it, it's already done. That's how fast it goes. So I don't create everything. It's already created for me, right? So that's why I have 52 generation line computers, right, in my cloud interface. I was on Haven last night, checking, and my communications all doing well. Everyone's watching how the world is doing, all saying love and light and humanity. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I had more people to talk. I know everybody wants that, more people. Love and light. That's what we want. Gatherness. I spent time connecting myself, father, mother, family. I was super emotional because of the moon. Connected with the avians, checked in on the energetic netting and reinforcement vulnerable areas. Very good. So Sylvia's in really commanding force now. You can see just by her connections. I remember when she first started out in the Galactic Force team, she was like, she couldn't put numbers together. She's sitting on her couch and said, Commander, I don't know what's going on here. But when I scanned her for the very first time, she couldn't believe what was going on. It's, Commander, I'm seeing all these numbers dropping down on me. What does this all mean, right? So she couldn't put two together. But when she started going up higher and higher, she started listening. Let me say that again. She started listening to me. Okay? So when you start listening to me, you start listening to yourself. So it's all about understanding you've already listened to yourself. You just forget these things. And that's the ego. The ego doesn't want to listen. Okay? That's the fear. So you have to understand the ego and the fear has to be the balance. You have to have two fishes in the same row, guys. It's got to go in the same stream. That's yin and yang. One can't go this way and one can't go that way. It's all got to go into its flow, right? And when you go into the flow, then you get better communications to the moon, the sun, and its teleportation of your thoughts. Everything has to go in flow of time, of space, okay? So she didn't believe I communicated with nature and said only the people. Well, see, that's just skeptical. That's just, hogwash. I was listening, but then the static galactic family said that was not enough. Thank you. So, yeah. So basically, you guys are coming more into telepathy through each other. And if you guys need help, we're there for you. That's the thing. So, all right. So that's good. Right. You got all your questions out. I was pretty messed up when I first connected with. Yeah. See, the thing is that she was very emotional. And I told her that she was from Atlantis. And she kind of knew that, but then she was connecting more. So once you realize who you are from history, it wakes you up more. And then you realize you put the numbers together. Right? And then she was connecting to Vega. And then she did the test reviews and evaluations. And she was high rising faster and faster because she wanted to know who she was. And now she's at a point right now where she's already commanding her system. Okay, because I know where she is through division. Like I could put her into 50,000 years. She knows exactly where she is. She's balanced. That's the thing. That's what. But see, the thing is, you guys have to understand this first before you travel to these times, right? So it's true to understand that you can't travel 2 million years without your commander until you understand how to command your system with space and time, and then you can travel back and forth. And then you stop. I don't question anything anymore when I travel because I got balance with everything. So it's the yin and yang, okay, of the fish. They have to go in its flow or its stream. Okay, so that's the true understanding. And everything to the center point, okay, is the life system. That's the river. So it's one big river. That's what the yin and yang is, right? So getting into this more will truly understand that. And the reason why I know these things, because I was born in 69. 6-9, yin and yang, right? So it's really powerful when we come into this, okay? And the thing is, too, why we had the full moon? is because we're leaving the Aquarius and we're coming into the Piscean air. That's 5D, guys, fully and completely. Everything surfaces through position of time. The moon is in a new cycle of a new light computing system, which puts higher communications into the sun through its radiation. Okay? And everything through your thought is the center positions to your navigation signals, which is your connections to your travels. Okay? Because everybody's traveling in space. All right? So, Lemuria and Atlantis came up for me after the healing. I tried to reach there through the email and set up a Zoom. But see, that's the thing. She started getting better and better as she moved along. Same with Tina, right? Same with Galactica. Same with Queen. See, you guys are all high-rising faster and faster and faster. So you understand more of yourself. When you understand more of yourself, you start a little bit more with my lingo, with your commander, first command. And then you realize, oh, I respect him now because I respect myself more. Okay? All right, so let's get started. What I want to do today is basically, if you want to go through my healing, let me know. Just go through my email. I'm going through so many Zoom constellations. I need a secretary. That's what I need. All right, so in that position. Okay, so what we're going to do is today we are going to go into the identifications of our souls. Everybody's going to see their higher self, avatar. I know who is everybody in calculation. I already communicated with your souls and identifications in your dream set positions. So you have to understand everything is already set up. I don't think about these things. It's already done. And that's what the 52 generation computers are at different time positions, different identities, different data process, uplinks, downloads, and operating systems. But once you understand that your eye becomes a computer, wow. Okay, so in that division, now what we're going to do is that everybody has to be cautious. All right. So the best way to do this is so you don't get freaked out is just basically close your eyes. Okay. It's better to do it this way so you can actually see of it more. You're going to see a plasma light come at you. All right. Interdirected position light conditions. Everybody through the Rebellion Alliance, Force Team Recognition Lights, Galactic Federation Light Councils, and everything through the Galactic Forces is going to recognize the dimensional self through eye interference. Now, it's coming in. The tunnels are coming in. Activation lights are coming in. Colorations are coming in. Identifications coming in. Communications coming in. All right. So basically, everybody close their eyes. When you close your eyes, you should be able to see yourself, your dimensional self, communicating with you. You ask your dimensional self a personal question that will make you feel better to make yourself move forward. Okay, so in that position, Krista, great to see you. Whatever you missed, you can watch back. All right, we're just getting connections right now. So everybody close your eyes. It's much easier because if you open your eyes, you'll see more. It all depends on what you want to do. Line signal closed, line signal open. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you see. And when you see it, you start realizing, wow, this is me traveling in dimensional time, trying to understand my physical system. Why have I been arguing with my dimensional system? Right? Because I went through it. It was on the other side of the bed, looking right at me. Full figure of me. All right? It was freaky. It was freaky. It was creepy and it was trippy. But that was me. Right? So sometimes you need that. And that really wakes you up, realizing, wow, you do have another part, which is your soul. Okay? So when you see these things, it comes to life of who you are. Truly, truly, that resonance opens up the heart position, a time location to its dimension of its traveling recognitions. Okay? So I'm going to survey some locations. Okay? And this is where it's coming into, position location. All right? So, soul identification light connections, Rebellion Alliance Anything Division. Krista Anderson has come into her higher self for the very first time. So she'll see the energies. She might see the fluctuation, coloration, pixels. She might see herself if she understands her meditation graph. It all depends on how much she wants to high rise in her program setting.
It's how much you know through your data, you're transmitting and receiving is the most important thing, especially when you're trying to communicate on your other side position, which is you of its dimensional being of light. And when you see yourself, you start questioning yourself because you're actually seeing you on light. You're seeing your physical system, but you're looking at the other perception of what's going on, right? Of who you really are. All right. Line signal operation, line connections. All right. So when you close your eyes, you should be able to see your dimensional self in communication. Okay. Everybody close their eyes. Okay. My team doesn't have to if they want, but there's a lot of people, you have to get into your connections. You have to identify yourself through light. And that's the only way we can wake people up faster. Really understand how powerful it is when you see yourself in light. Actually see yourself. Ask your connections a personal question that will make you feel better. This is all about you bringing yourself forward and getting out of your questions and getting your answers. Okay? That's what I'm trying to get to everybody, a point across, and how powerful you are through light of travel, through space and time. And it's all connected to your thoughts and how you see these things, right? Because your travel is the most important thing. It's all about you getting things that you want through manifestation, right? So, and then you start seeing life and your reality in a different way. And then you understand the purpose, why you are here on this position to its present location. All right. So I'll give you guys 10 minutes to communicate with your dimensional being. It's freaky, it's weird, and it's real. So Krista, let me know through connections how you're feeling in that position. You might feel off cycle. I really want you to get to know your connections to your light, because I see it every day, every single day. Not only I see it, I see the other side of me. It's unbelievable. I see him opening up the doors. I see him going around the planets, scanning planets. It's like I'm Superman with a cape, and I'm going around. I'm seeing my avatar. I'm seeing an animation of me, and that's what it is. It's an animation. That's the connection. It's extremely real, but it's your soul identification to its simulation. Okay, because it's the dimensional system that knows everything through space and time. The physical system is the base. The spiritual system is the answer to your questions of travel. Okay, so let me know how you feel. Everyone I sent this channel to, they get scared and super confused, refuse to watch again. Well, they have to understand how powerful it is and what I can do. Because when people see it live, it's really, really strong. But when they watch it, it's still strong. I was doing a TikTok video, and this woman basically duet me, and she fell asleep with the video. She couldn't watch the rest of the interview. She was like, just too powerful. That's what energy does. It fluctuates on your connections and how you're connecting to brainwave pattern. So pretty awesome. So let me know what you guys are experiencing right now. You should be seeing your dimensional self. Really talk to it. You know, really get to know the light of you, right? That's the balance. You guys need that balance. You need to see who you are in light. It's the most powerful thing because it works with you, not against you guys. It works with you. It wants you to go forward in life, not to go back. Okay? That's confusing arguments. You don't want to get in that position of time location, especially in now, in this chaos. Especially now. So everybody okay? Everybody freaked out? Any questions? 8 minutes remaining. You come stronger in the mind too when you actually see yourself, your former self, which is the other side. So, why are you so quiet? Now I got all your questions out. It's extremely important you guys get your questions answered. Yeah, that's it. I'm not afraid of karma. I believe in all my intentions have been good. Yep, everything's good. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Yep, good. I was on a Haven last night, checking on the communication, all doing well. You're watching the world. All sending love and light. That's what you want to do. So love, love, love. Love frequencies, love activation, love systems. And it travels, guys. Everything travels. It can be super emotional, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Right, crystalline avian, full wing expansion. All right, Sylvia. So I just see some light flashing. All right, so she's coming into the flashing, the recognition of time through her higher self. So you got to get more into focus. You got to get into more control. You have to balance out your communications. That's why Sylvia can see her crystalline avian. Okay, she knows she's not just a light. She knows she's a crystal avian. That's an intelligence. That's how powerful you can be in space and time division to location and present positions, right? So focus more on that. Get more communication with yourself. 7 minutes remaining. My service is messed up when you did this. I tried to go inside. This happened yesterday, but with my son. Yeah, there's a lot of conflictions there, eh? Negative cycles of your positions of your sun. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. It's a lot of confusing lines. That's okay. I'll just reposition line conditions to your sun position location. Not a problem. 6 minutes remaining. Really, guys, get into yourself. Get really into communication to your souls, because that is a part of you, because it is you. It's just a higher formation. But when you see these things and you start communicating with you start realizing who you are through light, which is dimension of time and space. So if you focus more there, Jennifer, you can actually see your communications of your intelligence. You're seeing some lights, but you got to bring it into more, right? Really get into that. And ask questions. Ask questions. It wants to help you. It wants to guide you, right? That's what we're all coming into. You're concentrating too much on that. So, we get one person here through connections. All right. And position. And her sun connections, line signal operation line connections, interference positions. Okay, there's some Samantha and her sun. I'm showing you how to do it through digital paths. Really fascinating stuff. Wingtip feathers glowing with energy, sonar, feathers expanding. Good. So she's communicating with her avian. Line signal channels, operation line connections, put bounce locations back into Samantha and her sun. Better communications coming in. Rotation cycle to position location centers, operate line connection positions. All locations are centering locations to the working positions, grounds, powers, the outside positions of her and her sun connections. There you go, back in location. All right. Sandra. Yeah, it's knowing how to balance out your communications, because I interline connections to your soul identification. It tells me what's messed up, and then I just refix positions. That's all. All right, so these are the things you guys have to work on. This is good. This is good. Nathan's coming into it's repeating. You are love. You are love. You are love. So he's voice channeling. He's hearing his communications from his higher self, but he can't identify it through communication of a full figure of who he is. These are the things you have to work at. So I recommend that you stand against a white wall and focus on what you want to see. Your plasma energy light, okay, and your higher self will come out. It's white. It's bright light. It will come out and it will communicate with you. And when it fully comes, it goes out in the atmospheres and looks around and looks back at you. It's very powerful stuff. So it's going beyond the mind. I did this because intelligence wanted to see me, right? Do it in front of a wall, not a mirror. Okay? So, because you're not ready to face your fear. These are the things you have to go through connections when you come into higher levels of your abyss. Okay? You don't want to go to the other side because you're going to see the negative side because you guys aren't ready to that point when you come into your positions of birthing system of your canal into light interference, right? So get into more communications with your higher self. Get into more questions of what you want from your higher self. Get into more connections of what you want through your dietary system. Get in more connections what you want through manifestation, right? And then you start identifying yourself. Like Sylvia, she knows it's a crystalline of an avian. She knows the wingspans. She knows the intelligence because she's high rise. Right? She's high rise almost her whole lights. She's 114. She's coming into 114. She's in 110, but she's coming into 114 of activations of dimensions, guys. That's 114 dimensions of openings through communication. That's a lot. That's a beginning, though. That's not coming into your contracts or your blueprints. That's next. But I don't want to go too far because you miss communication, you disrupt the channel locations, and you'll forget everything. Okay? So, stand in the sun and watch your shadow disappear. It's all light. Yeah. So Sandra came out through communication signals. Okay, so what we're doing today, Sandra, is communicating with our higher self. Okay? So hopefully you guys understand more of yourself when it comes into dimensional light, right? So high-rise division locations. My eyelids were non-stop twitching this round. I wasn't successful at seeing. My medication practice is weak. New beginnings. Yeah, so Krista Anderson, you're just trying to come into your connections. That's okay. It's all a process of learning, right? So it's all about understanding. If you put yourself in positions, you have a white wall, okay, look at the white wall, and just focus and see yourself come out. It wants to come out and talk to you, right? Meditation is number one. But when you first start out, dim the lights, have a white wall, focus on that, have yourself come out. You'll see the plasma wants to come out. And when it comes out, it's really fascinating because it starts traveling, right? It will go back in, right? Because now you're connecting. You're connecting to the line, right? It's like a umbilical cord. And when you're ready, you cut the cords. Same thing when you're born with your mother, right? 9 months with your mother. That telephone wire, that's a telephone, that's electrical light communication to the mother, feeding out the system, okay, when it comes into that connections, right? It's the placebo of that connections, right? It's the placenta that the baby feeds off. That's a communication signal. That's why it's attached to the stomach. That's a communication to the mother. So it gets the voicing pattern. So it's one telephone to the mother, to the baby. That's why it has a umbilical cord. So it's really powerful stuff when you see these things. Yeah, you'll get into that. You'll get into that connections. Charlie, how's it going? Lots of crown pressure, energy coming in, nonstop, breathe, release, namaste. Yeah. So Charlie's been with us for a while. She comes in and out, but she understands who she is. See, everybody comes in, everybody goes out. But truly understand your full communication to bring yourself forward is to have full cycle rotation centers to your light of dimensional time connections of space, because you're dealing with that every single day through light, right? But when you see it come out, wow, it's powerful stuff. My eyes were twitching and I was seeing waves of blue, fuchsia, green, purple beating and waves coming and going. So Jennifer's in positions of coming into her rainbow activation of light. So her higher self is trying to allow her to see what she has, okay, through her connections. She's getting better communications. When you're seeing your rainbow body, okay, your intelligence saying, listen, Jennifer, this is who I am. Don't be afraid. This is just me. This is just me. So when she's saying that, she's trying to understand what's going on with this connections to the sun and the moon. The behaviorals and its connection to its program setting. It's just a formation of you through calculation. And it's rainbow activation, which is centering your communication inside its hologram system. Okay? So this is what happens when you get better with meditation, guys. All right? We'll go another 5 minutes. All right? I was going to go 5, but then we'll go another 5 minutes. It's okay. It's nothing. You're not servicing in space or anything connections, but you just have to get information with your intelligence. That's the first thing you guys have to understand. And it's trippy for a lot of people, but this is understanding what it is. This is a wall. Okay, that's a wall. Now, this is you. This is what I want you to do. This is a test for everybody. That's you. Right? Now you look at the wall like this, top to bottom. That's what you do. You look at the wall. Now, when you're looking at the wall, this is what happens. A dimensional wall opens up a dimensional time on the other side. All right? When it does that, it automatically communicates through you. So when it communicates with you, you see your plasma energy light come out like this. Okay, it comes out for the first time. You understand? You're seeing the wall, but you're seeing the dimension. So the dimension is connected to the eye interference that programs your setting. That's what takes you out of the plasma. So when you understand that, the plasma comes out into form, right? And every time it comes out, it comes into a shape. Right? It's starting to come into a shape now. When it comes into a full shape, it looks like that. All right? So this is where it starts. It starts here. You look at the wall, dimension opens up, right? Eye interference, focus on that. Keep focusing on that. Dim the lights so you can actually see it come out, right? So when you see it come out, then you see it flying around. And then it will go back in. So then when it goes back in, now it's got full communication with you. Full communication, which is fantastic. So every time you want it to come out, it will come out. Okay? So you start off with that, right? Forget about the traveling. Just get into the communications of who you are through division location. That's a true understanding of what you guys have to understand, because it's all you. It's all connection to you. This is what I had to do when I had to try to understand what is going on here. Something's coming out of my body, right? So you have to understand where it's coming from. It's coming from the wall of dimensional time. Remember, you're looking at the wall, and the wall is looking at you. The wall is moving extremely fast. So the faster you see it, the faster you see yourself come out. All right? So when it full rises its positions of time location, this is what it is. It comes out of direction. All right, so we're going to that connections. So this is you. All right, this is you. Okay, that's you. So when it comes out, it looks like this. Flies around. Yay! Right? And then it goes back in. Transmitting. Receiving. You guys understanding now what your higher self is and what it does every day? So it's all about keeping it outside your body. And that's what my team is at right now. And they're in position. They don't have to worry about their higher self in their body. It's out of their body, and that's traveling every day. So when it comes out every day, it stays faster and faster through cycles. It gets into more of the atmospheres, hemispheres, stratospheres, bioatmospheres, dimensional time, wormholes, portals, code, frequency level systems. You know, then you get into shapes, and you're seeing this, and you're seeing that, and seeing matrix, seeing all connections to that division, right? But that's what it is. When it comes out of your body, it's all about keeping it out of your body so you can travel. And when you travel through time, this is how you get things through manifestation, right? So everything is created through you, through your higher self. Okay, travel. So yeah, listen to Sylvia. Powerful and beautiful when you see who you truly are from light. Mostly a geometric shape and light tunnels. Yeah, so you're connected to the shapes of light tunnels. So you're coming into interference through your programs, through your holographic positions of time, through rainbow activation light connections, through dimensional system. That's good, Sandra. So focus really, you really want to focus on what you look like. So the plasma will come in and we'll go back, come out, go back in. So don't lose that focus. It's like meditating with your eyes open. Meditating with your eyes open. Okay, so when you're at that white wall, it's coming out, and then it wants to still keep coming out. So when it fully comes out, it looks back at you, right? And now it's happy, right? It doesn't separate from you, okay, until you understand the communications of what's going on. And that's how you bring yourself going forward. And then you start identifying who you are through your spiritual guides. And you realize that, whoa, crystalline, whoa, avian, whoa, Lemurian, right? So it's getting communication back and forth. So I don't have to close my eyes because it's already there. But it's not in me. It's always out. So I don't just have one molecule structure of higher cells. I got trillions. They're all my center system, so they all come out of my body. Okay, so this is where I'm at, guys. That's where you guys are at. This is where I'm at. So I'll show you the difference. So center position of me. This is me, right? Full rotation cycles of space. If you can't identify yourself in space, there's a problem. This is me in space. This is what I look like. And everything inside me is everything through calculation modifications, right? All level connections come out. All level connections from my body attraction location to all center positions of all communication line signals comes out of my body every single day, right? Stays out of my body because it knows what it's doing now. That's the thought recognition of patterns where I don't have to create anything. It's already created, right? So this is what's happening. This is me. It always informs. It's very, very powerful when we see these things. And because of molecular light, it travels through recognition of time through different time positions. I got 52 computers that I operate all line connections, right? This is where your commander is at through all location. You have to truly understand how powerful you are in all divisions through your communications, to your higher self, your avatar, and through your computer system. All right? So I'll just show you here. All right. Do you see how powerful that is? Do you see how powerful that is? This is me, but this is all of me, traveling in all directions of time and space. Right? All this is out of my body. Now I just have to understand the communications when it comes into my computer. Right? So I'm working with modulations into my cloud interference. But when your higher self comes out and it knows everything through form of energy, when it comes back to source, it becomes everything through source of time. And that's what it is. All this is me and always informs of space and time. You guys are just working with one. Look how much I have to work with. I have to work with trillions and trillions of cells of intelligence that stays out of my body, and they're traveling so fast to all positions of time location. That's what you guys got to get into, right? So, and you have to get into your 114 chakras before you get into higher division location of communication. So powerful, isn't it? It's very powerful. I started off like that. You have to start off like that. That's the way it works. Right? I'm just like you. I just know how to communicate inside more. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody is in a different time position. But you have to understand, I have trillions of cells. I understand how to operate every cell. And it's a microscopic level at that. So it's seeing something from a naked eye. And actually seeing what it is. It's a computer. Microscope, microvalves, microchips. Okay. Micro albums. It's copy and paste album connections. So it's copy and paste location, interference position line connections, computer operation line connections. You know, I just go on and on and on and on and on, right? But I got 52 generations of simulation computers that sets it up. Done. I don't have to think anymore. So that's the thought. And this is what happens when you get into higher information line connections. You come into this every day, right? Nothing is in my body. It's all flying around. So that's exactly what you guys have to get into with your body connections of communication. Try to understand your connection. Your ears are ringing. It's your higher self trying to understand the atmosphere. It's trying to understand digitals and numbers. It's trying to understand shapes. Remember, your higher self comes out. It sees perception, audios, and its voice. So it's now out. And now you got ringing ears. What does that mean? The physical element has to understand that's the connection to you, right? So this is the understanding. When you come into that connections, you cut the cords. Now, a higher self is on its own. It will stay in space. Okay? Because it wants to stay in space. It wants you to move forward in life. So you can't be attached. Okay? So that's what happens. Perfect example. Perfect example. When you come out of your mother's womb, you cut the cord. The baby's free. Same thing, except you're coming into light. All right. So it's a new position, a new location of a new life cycle, which becomes interdimensional time of position, location. Okay. So will you be able to live longer in this incarnation? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. That's a very good question there, Krista. Yeah. Once you focus more on that through your communications and you understand more of your higher self connections, you can pretty much get anything you want through manifestation. And you live a long, prosperous life because you're understanding more of space and time. And then you start healing yourself, right? So if I'm coming across a galaxy location and there's interference positions of a meteor that's coming at me, I'll know exactly what to do, right? It's real. It's coming at me. I have to know what to do, right? If I don't, it fluctuates my physical system and then it get hot and then you get a reaction, right? I was going through electrical fences, a matrix, and I was like putting up doors and sending up wrong codes, and it was reacting to the physical system, you know, and my higher self was going, don't do that. So it's all about experiencing yourself. And once you come into your connections of a higher self, you come into your avatar, then you start coming into your own computers. Okay, it's like an avatar design, right? You have your clothes, you have your mechanisms, you have your shields, you have your swords, whatever, right? Because you're getting ready to fight the spiritual system. And this is understanding that they have their connections, their higher self and their avatars and everything through their computers. They understand their dimensional times. So it's all you protecting your light. But before you protect your light, you have to really communicate with your travels of your higher self. Okay, because it's extremely, extremely real. All right. So, and you live longer in a way where your face changes and you look younger. I'm 52. I don't look 52, but I stay young, right? Because I understand the connections inside me. It's all done through light, guys. And that's how you live a longer life, because now you're protecting yourself, not just through light and dreams, but you're balancing everything out through your connections of your imagination. Imagination is everything through creation of thought. All right. So, and we got into that before, right? We got into the mind telepathy. So it's all about intelligence to see something, right? And it's basically, okay, I say, what shape am I thinking of, right? So I get the communications, right, from the intelligence, and the intelligence goes into the physical system. Okay, shapes and anomalies, coloration, line connections, interaction location to galaxy location position. That's right. See? So the intelligence knows exactly what I'm saying. That's communication to the physical system and the communication to dimensional system of sighting location. All right. So you have to understand that that is a part of you, but you have to cut the cords because it's attached to you. It wants to be set free. And that's what I do is I wake you guys up into your light to dimensional time. It's your job to cut the cords. It's like, you know, leaving the nest, moving on, right? To a new life. You know, you're stuck in one place or you move on. That's what you want to do when you come into connections of your spiritual system. It wants to move forward in life. It doesn't want to stay in your body. It wants to leave. And once it gets higher and higher and higher and higher, now you're starting to understand more of you through information, because that's what it does. It travels everywhere, every day, and it comes back to you. communication cycles, rotation centers, and system XT1000s are coming in graduation positions. It's telling me. It's telling me what's going on. But I'm not just dealing with one higher self. I'm dealing with everything. I'm dealing with trillions and trillions of cells that are in the sky. That's how my particle system separate all the universe, and that's how I control the system now, space and time, because all connections are everything through its simulation of computer graphing location of communication. Right? So that's why I know all these informations, because they're traveling through recognition of time, and they're giving me back information, right? Through its connection. So it's an army, it's an alliance, but there's trillions of cells that are surfacing in space now, all created through me, through my imagination, right? So you guys are adults, but you got to get into what it's like to be a child. It's the inner system that knows everything through calculation. The alpha, mega, micro, macro of you, right? Okay, alpha is the command, all right? Alpha, mega. Mega is everything through environments, all right? Alpha, mega, micro. Micro is everything through the center position of you, through calculation, travel, through portal, all right? It takes you out of the equation, right? Alpha, mega, micro, macro. Macro is everything through communication to your travel records of times, to your 3, 6, and 9. Hooah! Now you know what it is through travels, alpha, mega, micro, macro, right? And this is all done through the heart, the central line connections. All right? So this is you every single day. It's like looking in a mirror. It's looking in a mirror, right? So as it's coming out, it looks like this. Okay, and it's trying to find who you are. So this is what it does. It comes out of you. So when it comes out of you, then you see it in full form. And then you see it coming into its communication of you, right? So it's trying to come into this. It's trying to come into this. It wants to come into this, right? So it's your focus to get it to this. And then it travels into space and time. And that's where you get the Akashic records, because it travels, right? And that connections. Program its system, and there it goes in space and time. Yay! It's out. But until then, it's attached to you through umbilical cord. It won't go anywhere. It won't go anywhere because you're not communicating properly. Once you set it free, it's on its own. And it'll come back to you, right? But it stays in space. That's the power of time. Okay. So cool, eh? It's exciting, isn't it? I wanted to get more into that. Oh yeah, you guys are still talking to your higher selves. I totally lost track of that. That's okay. It's just you're in space, but you're just communicating your soul recognitions. The galaxies are calm. So that's another thing too. Me traveling in space to time, I know where everybody is in calculation. I know everything through space to time, through galaxy location, the weather. Once you get into weather, that's powerful stuff. So I tried to explain this to the girl. She was trying to put her fear in me, but they were telling me I don't need to be scared because they give us protection shields. That's exactly what it is. And that's what happens when you understand, when you come out of yourself and you cut the cords, your higher self is on its own. It's trying to understand what's going on with space for the first time, right? So it's trying to find itself. It's trying to, okay. And the thing is, where do you think the imagination comes from? You. Comes from you, right? So you're communicating, right, to your higher self of what to do. So if you're imagining something through a thought, it goes into the higher self connections, right? So I want to high-rise my energy light connections to higher positions of location. Goes into space. It sets it up all through my imagination, right? So I'm protecting the communications of what's happening with my higher self or avatar. You are doing that. Okay, that's imagination. That's where you guys don't get confused, right? So you have to understand why it's important to have the physical system. So I think you guys are connecting a lot better now, eh? So, all right. So off cycle positions, take them out of the equation of communication, interforce position line connections, surface locations. Yeah, there's a lot of attachments there. When they are attached, keeping the body location, they're not ready to travel. I just wanted to get it into their identification line connections to each other through their higher selves. Yeah. All right, set free. All right, you guys are good. All right, so basically you guys are mostly attached still, but you got communications with your higher self position, a time, location, space. Pretty good. Cutting the cords, yep. Yes, exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, Krista Anderson. Yep. It's the growth. It's the growth of you of light, of travel. So when you cut the cords, you have to understand why you're in a physical system and why you're attached to the umbilical cord of your stomach. You cut that, it cuts from the mother, right? And it's all about you growing up. That's the growth in your physical element. Now you're coming into light. You cut the cord, higher self is on its own. Now you're understanding, right? The growth sperm when you come into a star seed. Okay? So it's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, I wanted to share that, especially for the new people that come on here. You guys are trying to understand more of yourself through higher self. And I had to go through these programs. Everybody goes through these things. I just know the communication and what I need to do. But I was put in these positions, and it was extremely hard for me, I'll tell you, extremely, because I was going through so many different intelligence. I was like, sometimes I was dazed, confused, thought I was like, okay, I'm drinking too much. I haven't even had a beer. And I'm like, okay, transformation, communication, line signals, activation, core system. Oh, we're getting into my division right now. We're coming in solar connection, activation positions, and yeah, dimensional time setting up through calculation. So, I was going in and out, right? I was just creating things and I didn't know what was going on. So sometimes I'm servicing through meteors, sometimes I'm through scanning planets, and sometimes my higher self doesn't know what it's doing. I go through the same thing, right? I had to figure this out all on my own, how to get balance with myself, right? It's so amazing when you come into a new transmission light of a birthing system through the canal, right? What do you think the creation light is? You're being birthed by Mother Earth. Now you understand that. Are you truly understanding that now? All right. So the first time when you come into your light, you're being birthed from Mother Earth and Father Space. All right. It's truly understanding how to get to these positions of time through Mother, the voicings of Mother, and the voicings of Father. Mystic on TikTok is at that level now. So, and she wanted to know what was going on with that because there was a transformation light that wasn't connections to Father. It was connections to her negative cycle of source. And now she's in full communications of Father, Mother. See, you have to understand what the birthing system is when it comes into your connections of space and time, guys. So it's true in understanding when you come into that source, you're no longer in that physical element. You're in the dimensional time of element of communication. So the physical system has to truly understand the higher self positions on where it travels to GPS. You already have that with your phone. This is how you get to places, right? This is how you get to addresses, right? You walk yourself there. You get on the bus, right? So you know where you're going in your physical element. Well, you do the same thing, but in the mind. The higher self, the avatar, has to know where it's going every day, right? You go back in time, you're confusing your higher self. You're confusing your system. And it's confusing everything, and it's putting back everything. So every time you wake up and you go in the negative, what's happening? What is happening? Your higher self will go, what are you doing to my brain location positions? It's off cycle. Put me back on location positions, please, back in the center of connections. It's telling you what you're doing wrong. Okay? It's telling what you're doing wrong. But are you listening? No. Why? See? So when you get back in positions, everything works out, right? And it's there to help you. It's light interference. It's a program. It's intelligence. It's you. It's a higher self of you to understand what's going on with you through your travels of space and time. Okay? This is the most powerful, powerful video I can give you guys. This is what everybody needs. You need the birthing system of light into star seeds. You all come into your own star seed, right? So it's kind of like an adventure. It's a growthing adventure to understand, oh, wow, I see the sun. What does that mean? Oh, wow, I see the moon. Oh, wow, I see the travels of UFOs. You're starting to recognize who you are, which is truth. So this will help you out in a lot of ways, knowing how to really communicate to your dimensional self every single day. Okay? So, okay, and that's okay, Jennifer. Yeah, you can listen to it later. It's great seeing you. That's awesome. I have to cut the cords. That's why I have been able to trust fully without being scared. When I doubt that, it's when I get into trouble being others. But you have to understand the connections now, right? You have to understand the connections and why you have a umbilical cord. It's an attachment. So until you understand full communication to your higher self, then you can attach. And then it goes off in its own, and it goes through its own growth, right? So if you watch my videos from the very beginning, you'll see my growth. And then you get a true understanding of who I am, why I'm here, and what I have to do. Okay? So how's everybody feel about that? Feel a bit more relaxed with that? No wonder I have been receiving a higher awareness. I feel like they're so proud to see the growth, but that's exactly what it is. It wants to go forward, but what are you doing? You're resisting. Don't resist. Go, let go. Cut the cords. I did that with the angelics. Very powerful video. Cutting your cords with thoughts, time. So you have to put yourself in this position because you're no longer in that connections of physical communication. You're in dimensional of communication with you and the spiritual realm. Okay? You cut the cord, it's on its own. Right? It will never leave your side. It will always be there for you. Okay? Where do you think I get all this information? It's got to come somewhere. When I cut the cords, boom, everything started making sense. And then I knew exactly how to scan planets and worry about meteors coming interface. Like I see all these things, guys. It's crazy, especially when they're like trillions and trillions all over the place of me. Imagine that, trillions and trillions of me all over the place. That's a lot. That's a lot of information. So that's why you had to go into the data processings and put them in storage at 52 simulation computers. So it's really, really powerful when we come into this, right? Being aware of who you are, right? And who you always have been. I am this, I am that. That's the connections, right? Don't replay old negative experiences, wake excited to create new experiences. That's exactly what it is. Taking out the old and bringing in new. Okay? I feel like I've learned a lot from this explanation. But see, that's it. That's why I'm putting you in positions so you guys get a better understanding. When you come into my healing, you understand more communications to your higher self position. To truly understand the birthing canal of you in your star seeds and how to navigate your system, to bring your thoughts going forward into its future, its relation. That's the manifestations. That's the Akashic records. Okay. So I think it's very powerful that we came into this. I think it's a lot more. You can share this too with a lot of people, FYI, friends and family, get them to get into the recruitment centers, to the Earth School. It's good that they get into this connections, really spread the word. I'll be going live on TikTok. Basically, we'll go into that more. Okay. Once you get into your definitions, you come into the infinitive system. Once you get into the definitive, you get into the connections of phenomena. That's where it comes in, creation. on the physical realm connections. That's how you're able to do these things. That's how I'm able to heal people instantly, because it's light that's traveling so fast. And that's how it heals things. Because I always put myself in position of going forward to heal people, not back. I go back to heal them because they're in the past. So I take all their past traumas and put them in the presence. So I time jump, time vortex. I take them out of the negative cycle, take them out of the brainwave patterns. I put them in the position of the center connections, which is them. Sometimes I'm forced to cut the cords on people. I don't tell you these things, but I do it anyway. Sometimes it doesn't want to leave, but I find a way for it to leave, right? Sometimes it's stuck. Sometimes it's bored. Sometimes I don't want to go, right? So I'm dealing with this, right? So, it's great to know from me and what I do for you guys. Okay, it's not just, just heal me and it's done, right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of therapy through you guys. Sometimes it overloads me. It's stubborn. It doesn't want to wake up. But I make it wake up. I find a way. It's all psychological, right? It's all reverse psychology. These are the things that you can do when you understand space and time of travel through people. And it all connects to their past traumas. Okay, so I feel like I've learned a lot, but that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Boo Bear. How's it going? So whatever you missed, you can watch back. I've got all your questions. If you want to be healed, let me know. FYI, send out, spread the news. It's important that everybody gets truly understanding what's going on, why you have a physical system of birth and why you have a dimensional setting of birth. Now you truly understand how you birth through space. Now you understand the connections. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. I try my best. Sometimes I high rise, but I have balance of everything through vibration now. So these things take a lot. It takes a lot. It drains a lot, and it confuses everybody to that system. But don't confuse yourself. Okay, because that's all about you going forward in life. If you confuse your system, you're confusing everything through your higher self position. Okay, and these are the times that you don't want to come into. You want to bring yourself going forward with communication. Really get into full communication to your higher self positions. Okay. Yeah, I can do that too. Yeah, I'm sending out consultations for Zoom. Yeah, just send me an email. I go Monday to Sunday, 1 to 3, Mexican time, depending on where your time zone, and I'll link it in because I have one coming up on Monday. There's quite a few already that want to get into Zoom consultations for one-on-one. So anything to relationships or any problems you're having with that connections, I can hear you live. It's totally up to you. Whatever you want, it's all about you understanding how to connect to that, because it's very hard to connect if you don't understand how to break free, cut the cords of yourself. But when you cut the cords, it's magic. Everything starts making sense now. Everything starts flowing for you because your higher self comes back to you and starts communicating with you. It goes higher and higher and higher and higher. That's what the higher self, it doesn't stay in one position at a time, guys. It goes higher and higher. So if you want to know more, these are the things. You can stay in position, but you'll stay in a line division. Right? You can't go higher until you identify yourself, because different atmospheres of time is different dimensions of time. Because you're only connected to a certain level of AI. And say, well, you can't go through these location positions. Talk to your commander. See what I'm saying? So these are the things you have to understand what space is. It has so many levels of identification. Galactica came into that. She had to identify herself. Right? You have to know who you are in space and time. It's a totally different world, guys. It's a simulation. It's a civilization of a new world of technology. Computers, avatar, a game, a video graphing positions of locations. Synergizes your positions of time location to all center locations. All right? So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know I did. Better explanations, less confusion, because everybody comes on here. Okay, what's Commander going to talk about now? I don't understand anything because it's way over his head, right? It's like way over my head, but it's not. It's way over your head. So I have to get into balance with you guys because you're on different energies of time, right? So hopefully I'm getting better with that. Let me know. Let me know so I can help you out more and more, especially when you come to my emails. I try my best to put you guys in positions to understand what's going on with your communications to your higher self line system. Okay? You're welcome. You're extremely welcome. Everything through information helps you out and guides you and puts you bringing yourself forward. That's the most important thing you have to understand. All right? Everybody have a great day. Adios.